Well, hello everyone. Glad you are all here today. Today we got a couple special guests. We're going to tackle the topic of caring for the caregiver. I have two professional PSWs. One's also a nurse, and they'll introduce themselves in a minute. But we have Tanya and we have Njeri. Welcome both of you to our channel today.
Thank you.
That's good. And they're with Harmony Personal Care Services, and they're in the Niagara region. And I love these ladies. I got to know them a bit. I really appreciate their story, and I want to share it with all of you. And we'll do it in an educational way. We're going to talk about caregiver burnout, practical self care, and then support that they need. And these ladies are going to help us with that. I just want to let everybody know I'm going to put their contact information in the comments of the video, but also in the description. So at any point in the future, if you want to reach out to them, they welcome that for any discussion beyond this video. So I think the best way to start here, ladies, is I'm going to have you both introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about. We'll start with Tanya. Tell us a little bit about your background, what are the things you did before you started Harmony, you and Njeri there, and anything that'll help us appreciate the care and love you have for serving others like this.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. My name's Tanya Dorville. Um, like you said, I'm a PSW. I have been a PSW since 1999.
Wow.
I started in Toronto. Um, I worked at West Park Healthcare Center, which is a rehab and continuing care hospital. I spent
Mm,
15 years there, mostly on the tuberculosis unit.
mhm.
So that was more than just serving seniors. It was a whole other type of client we were serving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only was I a caregiver in that capacity, but I'm a mother of nine. So
You have
I,
9 kids?
yes, I
Well, I just
do.
got to interrupt here because not every day you hear that. So if I may ask, what is the range like from what age to what age?
They range in age from 14 to 37.
Amazing. Well
Yes.
done.
So
I just got
thank you.
two, so
Oh, okay. You can go for four. After four, it's all the same. So,
that's good. Okay, well, go on, Njeri. Appreciate that.
I was a
Oh,
caregiver, Tanya, but that's
Tanya,
okay. I
yeah.
was a caregiver in Toronto, raising my kids in Toronto, and it just got to be a little too much. The inner city
Mm,
life where we were living, it was just a lot to raise kids. So I chose Welland to start over.
yeah.
So in 2016, I relocated to Welland and continue working as a PSW, but more in the community this time. So I was able to help seniors in their homes, which was
Nice.
really nice. Um, Njeri followed me soon after, and we
Yeah.
continued to work together. We worked together in the community, having private clients. And I then started to experience my own caregiving burnouts and wanted to get out of the profession. And
Ah,
Njeri was able to talk me into eventually starting our own business. And that's how Harmony was born, just during the pandemic.
that's amazing. And the fact that you've had that personal experience of caregiving, like where you were the caregiver and this the burden of burnout, which is good because we're hitting that topic today.
Right.
Uh, that's great. Thank you, Tanya.
You're
And
welcome.
Njeri, and if I get your names wrong, if I forget stuff, it's not because I have dementia or nothing like that, right? It's
Okay.
just you just forgive me and we move on. So that's good.
Okay.
So Njeri, tell us a little bit about your background, just like Tanya did, and just help us appreciate that if you could.
Yes, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for having us. And my name, as Mark has introduced me, is Njeri. It's a name with an N. I don't know why there is an N. So the N is silent. I think, just to make the name beautiful, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and I am, I'll say, a caregiver, a nurse,
Mm,
a co-owner of Harmony,
hmm
and most importantly, I would say a natural caregiver. I was born a natural caregiver.
mm,
And talking of responsibilities, I'm a firstborn in a family of five. So what
mm,
that taught me from a very early age was to be responsible, to lead, and
mm.
I still lead, and to take care of others.
Mm.
And then I was not just an ordinary teenager, because
Mm.
when schools were out and everybody wanting to hang out, I would go to my grandparents. And that
Yeah.
is where I started caregiving at a
Yeah.
very, very early age, a teenager. I would
Mhm.
go home, see my grandparents, and help them with whatever help they needed.
Mm.
So what that did to me was there was a seed that was planted
Yeah.
about taking care of others and having seniors at heart. So
Mm.
having said that, at Harmony, we don't just serve seniors. We have younger people, we have
Mhm.
seniors. So it is not just for seniors.
Mm.
And then, as I said, that dream that was put in me, or that seed that continued growing, grew, and it was not just a dream. It turned out to be what Harmony was. And as Tanya
Mm.
introduced us and said how we started during the pandemic. It was in
Mm.
2020 that we
Mhm.
launched. And we have continued every day with taking care of the seniors in the community and filling that gap or that void that we saw. We wanted to
Yeah.
have a brand where it was not just sending a caregiver to a senior. It was
Mhm.
making sure that we handpicked our own PSWs and sent the best out of the best to our
Nice.
seniors. And it has always been like a caregiver that we are sending out is a caregiver who I would trust would also take care of me and take care of my children. And I forgot to say
Nice.
that I'm a mother too. I'm a mother
Yes.
of two. And I'll tell you, we say burnout, and even with the two, it feels there's a time that you feel like I need a little rest. And I guess, I need a little rest as well. So
Yeah,
for
that's right.
Harmony too, yeah, the other thing that we do at Harmony is we make sure we take care of each other, our staff, our clients, and their
Yeah.
families too. So we all become one big family.
Yeah, that's good. And we're going to put your website also in the comments and description so people can research, because I think you should research to see what their services are, because you never know when you're going to need it or when someone might need the services they have. Now, help clarify for me here. Do you guys service just the Niagara region, or are you go beyond the Niagara region?
At this time, we're just serving Niagara region.
Okay, very good,
Yes.
very good, very good. That's good to know. So let's get into this, okay? Caring for the caregiver. So I got a series of questions, and let's interact on that. So the first question has to do with this identifying burnout, but also understanding burnout. So the question is, how do you define caregiver burnout? And what does it actually look like in real life when someone reaches that threshold? Help us understand that. Appreciate that.
Okay. So caregiver burnout is a deep state of physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion. It's like
Mm.
that feeling of being drowning or at the
Mm.
end of your rope.
Mm.
Okay, it can present itself in many ways. It's not going to be solved with a good night's sleep or
Yeah.
a day, just a day out. It's a chronic state of being.
Now,
Mhm.
are they? Sorry, Jerry. Before you get there, do they know? Does a person who's burnout, do they know they're in burnout mode, or do they anticipate, or are they just kind of work through it because they don't feel they have a choice?
Do you want to add something,
Yeah, I'll,
sis?
I'll let you
Yeah.
answer. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say burnout tends to be something that creeps up on you.
Okay.
You're going through the motions, you're busy putting someone else's needs in front of your own. You sometimes don't even realize that you're in that state of burnout. It
Yeah.
presents itself in different ways, like isolating yourself from others. You're not answering
Mm.
those text messages anymore. You're not you're not reaching out to loved ones.
Mhm.
Like I said, you're sleeping, but you're still waking up exhausted,
Okay.
overwhelmed to start another day, another routine of the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
And if
that's
I may add on something too, it is, as you asked, do you know it? Sometimes you kind of get used to it. It becomes like a baseline too. This is my life. It's just me worrying about chores. It's the feeling of helplessness or hopelessness, or and also like feeling like you're also neglecting your own health. You know, there are things that maybe you wake up, your food is hurting because you have been on your food for so long, and you're thinking, well, you know, it is because I've been on my feet, whereas maybe there's something else that is going on. So you're feeling that there's something also like the resentment. So it comes in many different, you know, it's not just one thing for one individual, but those are all the things that, you know, we can factor into this caregiver burnout.
Yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of emotions there because you know you could be a caregiver for one of your parent or your child or your spouse, or it could be another relative. Like you just happen to be the only person who can help them or something. I wonder the emotional impact if that enhances burnout. Um, I don't know.
You start to feel that resentment
Hmm.
for what you're doing, and then that leads to feelings of guilt. It's just a cycle. It's just a cycle. It's emotionally overwhelming as well as physically overwhelming.
Wow. Well, let me add that leads us into our next question, I think. Let me ask you, so in your work as a PSW or as PSWs, why do you see so many caregivers ignoring their own physical and mental health symptoms until it's almost too late?
Well, I would say from what we covered from the previous question, saying that there's that immediate crisis that a caregiver is always feeling that they're in, like, you know, and their own needs are always second. The priority is always about the person they're taking care of. And there's always that feeling of, you know, there's the chronic stress from a lot of things that are happening. And so the main thing we should say is someone feeling, or a caregiver feeling, that they're always second. The other person they're taking care of should be first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about kind of like practical, real world self-care stuff. Okay, let's get into that. So caregivers, they often hear you need self-care, but they don't have hours to spare. Now, this is my question for us here. So, what does realistic, everyday self-care look like for someone with very little free time?
That's a good question, because it's not going to be a trip to the spa or a night out at a hotel. Like, that's not realistic. That's probably not going to happen. So it's little things. It's even just taking that 5 minutes for yourself to sit down, get a little fresh air, stop what you're doing, drop what you're doing, even get just a nice glass full of cold water.
Yeah.
Deep breathe. Release your shoulders. Feel your body loosen up. Just, you know what I mean? Just that moment, just for in that moment. Kind of be in that moment. Stop what you're doing and take a moment.
You know, I just thought, like, I would think, you know, that some people who are caregivers, they may not be eating well because they're too busy thinking about them and preparing for them. Is that like very common, like that they don't like nutrition wise and stuff?
But when they start to neglect them, a caregiver starts to neglect their own needs. Definitely food is one of those things. A healthy meal, sitting down, taking it in, enjoying it, just those couple moments to yourself. Yeah.
Wow.
Those are important little steps that you can help yourself to get through the day.
You know, I remember, you know, you see in the movies, you know, if the plane's going down, right, and you know the oxygen, they drop them from the ceiling.
Yes, we talked about this yesterday. Yes.
You put yours on first, right, before you take care
Put
of
on
the
yours
others.
first.
because
Yes.
there's a saying that reminds me of that, and it's you can't pour from an empty cup. I think that's it, right?
Ah, that's a good
Yes.
one.
You cannot
That's a
pour
good one.
from an empty cup.
Yes.
So if you're depleted, how can you
Mhm.
give to someone else?
Mhm.
Very
Mhm.
good point. I
Yeah.
like
Yes.
that.
Yes. And then also there was one other thing I would add on what the caregivers, like doing the little things,
Mhm.
taking that 5 minutes, you just open the door, 5 minutes, you're sitting down at the porch there and just drinking that glass of water. And
Yeah,
also
yeah,
then there are things that you put boundaries to. You just say no. There's a
yeah,
whole pot
Yes.
dishes in the sink and you're
yeah.
thinking, okay, so is that a priority right now, or can I just have 5 minutes? Just sit down because
Yeah.
that can wait for another time.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
not an
Mhm.
emergency, those can wait, you
Mhm.
know.
Yes.
So it's little things like those because there's no one day that you're going to think I'll have a whole 2 hours to myself as a
Yeah.
caregiver. But then
Yeah.
just trying and starting with those little steps may
Mhm.
even give you start with a 5, then in another month, maybe you are at 6 minutes,
Yeah.
So it's the gradual, but then just do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
another thing, and it's more, I don't know if your question was more pertaining to immediate steps to getting a little relief
Mhm.
or bigger steps, but something I had in mind is setting boundaries, learning to
Good.
say no.
Nice.
Oftentimes caregivers carry this impression like they're superwoman or superman, there to save the day.
Yeah.
They're everybody's go-to person. You have to
Yeah.
learn to say no,
Mhm.
set your
Mhm.
boundaries and stick with your boundaries.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, do you think this is a question I never asked, or it's not even on the list of questions, but I thought about, is there a real difference if I'm a caregiver for someone who has cognitive issues like dementia versus someone who it's a physical situation and maybe not mental, but there's a physical capacity where they can't physically is it more than not cognitive, the caregiver situation, or that people are often in the last phase of their life?
So I guess you're asking if caregiver burnout is more associated with people with cognitive issues as opposed to
Yeah.
physical issues. Um,
Is it
I wouldn't necessarily think so. What do you think, Jerry?
I wouldn't think
Oftentimes I
so
see
because
that, but
oftentimes,
I'm thinking of cases like Parkinson's or other diseases, other illnesses.
Mhm.
It can really be either or. But we do see
Mhm.
the cognitive and dementia a lot when it comes to
Okay.
caregiver burnout.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
because even the physical, sorry to cut you, Mark, but I'm
no, no,
thinking
please.
even the burnout coming from physical, because sometimes it's that one, say, loved one who has, say, even a stroke. So the
Mm,
caregiver is having to help with its physical, but then
mm.
it's getting something because,
Yeah.
and as you can imagine, the population that we serve, if it's a senior helping a senior, so
Mm,
that too drains
yeah.
them. So it's all the physical, the emotional, the mental, they're all,
Absolutely.
yeah, but mainly
Yeah.
we see cognitive.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So
Mhm.
let's say a caregiver is watching us right now, okay? And they feel completely overwhelmed. All right. So this is my question. What is one small practical step that they can take right now in light of that load? Now I know we've addressed some of this already, but
Yes.
let me open that up again in case there's other thoughts or just to revisit what we've said already on that.
Yes, and I'll
Well,
go and I'll
okay.
say,
Okay,
sorry,
you go.
sorry, Tanya. So
You
what
go.
I'll say is we haven't mentioned help because
Hmm.
as caregivers, we are always thinking, I'm the superhero. I don't need help. Even when people
Yeah.
are offering you help, the one thing that I would say is learn to ask for help.
Hmm.
And even if it's when it's offered, don't say no. And
Hmm.
no matter what, and I'll say this, I'll relate this with my own children when they were younger. I
Yeah.
always felt like, oh, I have to be the one making meals for my children. So even if people offered to help that way, I was thinking, no, I'm failing. I'm the mother and I can make meals. But
Yeah.
then it's that time that someone is offering you that help that you should say, yes, I need the help, because you can be resting. And there's nothing wrong when someone else is making those meals or is sitting down with your loved one and you're having a nap.
That's
So
good.
take the help.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So, and then we said, pause the tasks. Whatever you're doing, it's bedtime. Your bedtime is usually 10 o'clock and you're finding there's things to be done.
Yeah.
Stop, because you're thinking the loved one that you're taking care of. And I'll give an example. There are those ones that usually their bedtime is 10 and they are awake by 6. And then when they are awake, that's it. You wake up too. So if they go to bed at 10, just like I did with my own children, was when they go to bed, I close my eyes too. Little things, like we said, it was a big thing when I brushed my teeth in the morning when my kids were younger. So it's doing just that one little thing,
Yeah.
and making you feel like I have achieved something.
Yeah. That's
So
good. We're gonna piggyback on what you talked about here in terms of asking for help, and let's discuss kind of building a network, getting others involved. Okay, let's get into that a little bit more here. So caregiving can feel incredibly isolated, which you guys have mentioned already. How can someone start building a support team when they feel completely alone in their role?
Okay, so I'm old-fashioned. I'm pen and paper.
Mm-hmm.
Start with a list. You start with a pen and paper. You think of who in the past has offered help before. Start making that list. Who could I turn to, even for something small? Make your list. Put your care providers on there. If you have a doctor's office, someone you can talk to. There's different organizations you can turn to. You can add to that list to explore, such as Alzheimer's Association, Hospice. I believe it's Hospice Niagara. There's another one called Ontario Caregiver Organization.
Yeah.
These are people that can help you just talk about their services. And oftentimes they have respite services that people aren't even aware of, where someone can come out and relieve you for a couple hours. So add that to that list you're compiling. Add those places. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
There's agencies and services such as ours, like Harmony. You can reach out to Harmony, other agencies that can offer respite care. So you can get out and do your own errands, your own shopping, your own medical appointments, your own break. Yeah.
Can one of you, the services that Harmony offers, right? I think it's important for people just at least understand that. If they called you, can you, in less than 30 seconds, right? Can you give us a sweep of the type of services potentially they could reach out for support if they're building this team with Harmony? Could one of you help with that?
Do you want to go ahead?
I'll go. Yes, I'll go ahead. So now that we are talking about the caregiver burnout, I'll start with the main one, the respite care. So it is that time that you're thinking, okay, I need time for myself, because it doesn't have to be an appointment. You can have your nails done. You can go for a haircut. You can go for a drive with your friends, So that specific time that you say, this time I need, we provide such services. If it's help with meal prep, we help with those. We do light housekeeping. And this doesn't mean we come one day and do meal prep. It means that, say, a minimum of 3 hours that we come for a call, we are able to help. We provide the respite care, so we are making meals. We are helping with light housekeeping. We are doing laundry. We are changing the bed. We are helping with showers. So we are going around the block. So it's a nice day. We are going for a walk. So those are all the things that we do.
And most importantly, your loved one is safe during that time. So you're having the caregivers having that peace of mind while they're out having their own time.
Wonderful. That's good. I appreciate that. So let's say family members and friends, they often want to help, but they don't know how to help. Now, what's the best ways loved ones can step up and support a caregiver without waiting for the caregiver to ask?
Yeah. Don't don't be shy. Just get in there and help. Don't be vague. Don't just say, I'm here to help. Be specific. Come with a meal. Come with those paper plates so dishes don't have to be done.
Yeah.
Come and offer your services to help in the yard, shoveling snow, yard work, getting the garbage out. Offer to sit with that loved one just so that person can get a nap, get a shower, take a break.
Yeah.
Run some errands, go get some groceries. Don't wait to be told what to do. Come up with these ideas yourself. It takes a lot of pressure off the caregiver's shoulders. You know what I mean? And a lot of that feeling of guilt. Just get in there and do it.
That's good. That's good.
And I'll also add to that, and I'll say, keep those visits short. You don't
Yeah.
want them feeling like, oh, I have to entertain Njeri. She came to help, and now I have. So when we are there to help. We are not there to be like getting the little energy they have left for them to entertain us. So make those visits short. You're shoveling snow, you shovel the snow, you knock at the door and say, I did the snow, or say a hello. You're just saying a hello too, but then make them nice and short.
Yeah.
Or as needed.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. So we're gonna give you each a last final statement. Okay. Final thing to say. So let's say a caregiver's watching us today, they're watching right now, and they're feeling completely depleted. Okay, so they're on the threshold, if not already burnt out. Now, what is one thing to know? What's one thing you would want to share with them or to encourage them in that time that they're in?
Okay, I'll say the same thing we said before. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Put on your oxygen mask first, because that's it, and take the help. And I'll conclude with that.
Nice.
And you're not failing. You're not alone. You're not the only one going through this. This is what a lot of people are going through, and your exhaustion proves how much you love your loved one. Yeah.
That's very good point. That's very good.
Take the help. Take the help.
Well, this has been great and very meaningful for me to listen to your guys' insight into these things. And I know that many will listen to this and also benefit. And so we're going to put your contact info in the comments and the description of the video so people can follow up with you as they wish over time. Okay. So thank you both for being with us, and look forward to connecting again soon.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much, Mark, for having us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.